how the British media depicted Mussolini, right? And I'm quoting from this organization's website called Rogue Nation. So this organization maintains historical records that talk about the terrible side of British history, which is arguably all of it, but also what is not taught in Britain schools, right? The title of the article is British Press Coverage of Fascism in Italy, June 1922 to October 1923. And then they put a subtitle. Okay. It says, includes a list of astonishing quotations from 220 British press eulogies to fascism. And I read those quotes. I read all 220 of them because they were addictive as fuck. Okay. And they're actually eulogies. Like they praise each and every 220 in a matter of less than a year, all praising fascism, not even one questioning it. Right. Sorry,
Why
I should
would
have
Britain
taken
not
this.
not praise them though? Like, I mean, they have been fascist towards other people, I guess, not their own people for the longest
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah. And also, I feel like Britain went against, when we'll cover this also, Britain went against Mussolini during the later parts when it
yeah,
was very clear that Mussolini was a threat to Britain colonies, right? Otherwise, they were pretty happy with all
Britain
fascists.
was
They were
very
like,
happy with Hitler also. Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, they got along very well.
yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
royal family had like
yeah,
proper ties to Hitler. It was, again, Hitler also was trying to court them,
yeah, 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 yeah.
they're all assholes coming together. It is only when they started threatening each other that they would go against each other, right?
This is just like a
uh,
bunch of dumb people's version of Game of Thrones, genuinely. Like,
I don't know if dumb, because the evil for sure, massively evil, but I don't know how dumb or how.
Their ideologies were similar, no? They're the better race and the better
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. So
yeah.
both of them had the same ideology.
That's also why Hitler, like this Aryan myth.
Yeah.
And if there is even a single right winger who is still listening to this, Aryans don't exist. It's a myth. It's been proven repeatedly. So fuck you.
No,
Um,
Ashmita,
But you
what are
can
you
find the
saying?
Aryans on the internet. They have good songs, though. Hmm.
so for the listeners, what I'm showing the guys is this
It's a
is a
collage.
compilation.
It's a
Yeah,
collage
it's a
of
collage.
headlines.
Yes, right. And this was the pro-fascist headlines from only June 1922 to October 1923, right? Which is at the point of time when Mussolini was coming to power.
He was knighted.
He was knighted in by the Britain
Fuck.
crown. The article's headlines are stuff like London fascists welcome return to London of King and Queen, the Red Dragon and the Black Shirts, the true story of a great movement, how Italy found her soul, Mussolini, the man and the myth, Mussolini, what Europe owes to him. All of this, like, it's horrifying. Right? And this is just a
Man and the
few.
myth.
Yeah, just a few of the
To be
articles,
fair, he
right?
was a myth at that time, I guess.
He was not. How was he a myth?
Now he's
He
not a
was
myth
not a myth.
anymore, but maybe he was a myth at that point of time.
No,
What do you mean, no?
he
It's
wasn't.
possible.
He was.
Anyway, this article of Rogue Nation. By the way, you all should check out the website Rogue Nation. It's doing a pretty good job of historical records, right?
I think you've
Anyway,
mentioned it
this.
before also, if I'm not wrong. I think
No,
you've
I came
mentioned.
across this for
No?
the first time.
Okay.
I came across this for the
So
first
I
time.
don't believe either one of yours memory, so it doesn't matter. This last 2 minutes was a waste. So it could have been there, it could not have been there. Who knows, right? Neither one of you does for sure. That's a fact.
Go
So we can
go
move
and
on.
listen to our episode. Go and listen to our episodes and and tell us if she's mentioned it or not.
Oh God, so funny.
Like pot and kettle fighting with each other as to who is more black. Like literally, bro. Anyway, move on.
Okay. So what this article says, Britain's newspapers, almost without exception, were either strongly sympathetic to or openly euphoric over Italy's fascist coup in October 1922, which brought Mussolini and his black shirts to power. They deliberately deluded the British public into believing, as the Reuters Rome correspondent reported, that the fascist movement is proceeding peacefully, adding gleefully, though falsely, that the whole nation sympathizes with the determination of the fascisti to affirm the national spirit and to purify and strengthen public life and the government. A pause here. Now we know this, that every time this word purify comes along, nothing good comes after this. Like, legitimately, no political movement or personal outlook with the word purify has any implication that is not just disgustingly inhumane. You talk about the casteism in India, you talk about Modi's and BJP's sort of how they ran the election, how they continue to behave. You talk about Hitler, you talk about Mussolini, you talk about any dictator, you talk about British, any colonizer. Purifying has never been great. And that time, I guess they didn't really know about that, right? The article continues. The Daily Telegraph asserted triumphantly that fascism has attracted to itself the best elements of Italy, while the Observer correspondent crowed that Italy, old and young, sighs with relief that they have a strong man in charge of affairs. Does this remind you of something, guys? Does this
What?
remind you of 2014 media response after a particular gentleman came into power, that finally we have a strong man in charge of affairs in India? I mean, the way history repeats itself is not even like subtly, and yet I don't know what we are just extremely idiotic people. I don't know what else to say. That we have just replicated all fascist regimes, and we still continue doing that. Anyway, the article continues. Equally elated, the Yorkshire Post trumpeted that the whole city of Rome has been on the tiptoe of expectation since the early morning, and everyone wishing to see and cheer Signor Mussolini. And the man from Daily Mail gushed that many of the onlookers, especially the women, cannot restrain their tears. Such a fucking weird thing to say. This is one of the main reasons why I like Rogue Nation, because a couple of articles that I read, very dryly they will make fun of the articles by not even like putting their opinions there, like exactly opposite of who I am, right? No overtly expressive opinions. Sandy, your style. They will just repeat what the other person said and let them make fun of themselves. It is amazing. I absolutely loved reading these articles, right? Now, the article goes on to show how the British media, how they behaved during this time. But I want to come to some of the quotes that I mentioned while talking about this article in the beginning, right? That this article has compiled from British media, remember, in a span of less than a year, right? One from the Daily Telegraph on 2nd June 1922. This is 2nd June 1922 means much before the insurgency, right? But the fascist party was very much there, right? Remember, the fascist party was established in 1921, right? The fascisti, so far, referring to a local power grab in Bologna, have committed relatively few excesses, but they have sacked some socialist and communist meeting places, set fire to some labor exchanges, literal fire to some labor exchanges, and prevented the firemen from doing their
How
duty.
else would you set fire?
No,
What do you
they are
mean
not
literal
talking
fire?
about. They are not talking about metaphorical fire, like the
Like
the
dancing on
country's
the
governance
on
is
the
on.
dance floor. They are like ripping it on the dance floor, and like everyone is like,
No,
wow.
you know what I'm talking about.
No, I
Not
don't.
They are not talking about like the metaphorical setting fire to the governance or something like that. In the same sentence, while saying that they committed relatively few excesses, they say that they set fire to buildings and then stopped the firemen from doing their work.
Yeah, it's like how we set fire to buses here. No, just a couple of buses
Buses
got
are
burned.
empty. Those buses are empty.
Yeah,
This
also
is
buildings
labor
sometimes.
exchanges. No, labor exchanges fully with people. People died.
Oh God, acha. I thought they emptied out the building and then they set fire. Or they
Yes,
didn't?
that is what fascists are known for taking sensible measures.
I mean, I always try to give the benefit of doubt to everyone before
To
they
fascists,
take it.
I think, okay, I will point out here for Sandy, because I know that you don't do this often, but I have a big problem with people who do. You cannot give benefit of doubt over critical thinking. If people are proving to you who they are repeatedly, and fascists do, there's no benefit of doubt to be given to them. It is just now a common derivation of what they've done, right? So no benefit of doubt ever to be given to fascists. They have never ever demonstrated that they have come from a good place, right? By the way, this article was called, the title of this article by the Daily Telegraph was "Amazing Scenes in Italian City Seized by Fascisti." Horrifying. Okay. Then there was this article called Londonderry Sentinel. This was on 3rd August 1922. Again, before the insurgency. In Italy, the fascisti have narrowly saved their country from an orgy of communist violence and spoliation surpassing Moscow at its worst. So it is.
I'll tell you why they're all jizzing over themselves. I think all of this must have reminded them of the beautiful scenes in India back then, you know? So they must be like, oh my God, you remember the good old days when we used to ransack these buildings and burn the people alive?
Yeah.
Look at this thing in all its glory, you know?
To be fair, 1922 means Jallianwala Bagh in India has happened just like 3 years back. So they have been still burning, and like at this point of time was when the Indian independence movement, the complete freedom struggle, just really kicked off. So they were still very heavily burning people, building everything in India. Uh,
Yeah, maybe they were just
but
reminiscing. They just saw part of themselves. They're like, oh man,
yeah,
remember the good old days when we used to burn people alive. Oh God,
yeah.
I wish we could do that
And
again.
also,
But,
also
what?
this is Stalin breathing his last, right? It is during that period also. So, they have seen like the most terrible impact of communism. But at the same point of time, they themselves were imperialist assholes, which they couldn't see. Right? They didn't think they were doing anything wrong. They thought they were civilizing people. It was, side note, it was always funny to me that people who couldn't, people who wouldn't wash their assholes, people who didn't know how to make like decent food, how they thought civilizing different parts of the world was okay. Like, it's so weird to me.
Because they
When,
never ate enough spice to having to clean their asshole.
what do
You
you
know,
mean? Shit is still dirty, Sandy. Even if there's no spice, it's literally waste. You always wash your asshole. This is so weird. Anyway, this is a fuck all discussion that just started. I apologize for that. I'm going to come back
you
to the
started
quotes.
this. You
I
started
started
this
it,
discussion.
which is why I apologized. Okay. Anyway, I'm coming back to the quotes. Okay. Now this is one by Sheffield Daily Telegraph, 5th August 1922. No government loves the fascisti, whose lawless methods are bound to offend respectable politicians. But for all that, these young men are Italy's surest safeguard against revolution. They uphold the Italian state with a resoluteness that orthodox politicians dare not show, and government profit by their deeds, even while ostensibly countenancing them. Right? So this was the Sheffield Daily Telegraph. The title of the article, very standard title, The Fascisti. Because they try to present like both sides by just giving a caveat at the beginning that no government loves the fascisti, but then continuing praising them. Okay. Now, one of the weirdest fucking ones that I have read, and this is, I promise, the last one I'm going to read out to you because there are 220 quotes. I strongly, advise, like, I strongly recommend setting aside an afternoon, sitting with a glass of wine and reading all of that. It's pretty fucking
What if
fantastic.
just one episode of yours is reading out all the 220 headlines, Ashmita, the articles?
Anyway, this was the London Daily News on 8th August 1922, the fascisti. It says, suddenly a number of youths board our tram, springing in with wonderful agility while it is running at full speed. They break into a stirring patriotic song. I turn to the man beside me. Who are these young men? I ask. The fascisti, he replies. I look at them now with interest. These jolly, refined looking boys, the fascisti? I had always imagined that the members of this movement were lawless roughs. But judging from their appearance and tones of voice, they apparently belong to the cultured classes. Fine looking young fellows they are, tall, lithe, and athletic. Most of them between the ages of 18 and 24 years, though their leaders are evidently much older. My companion tells me that many of them are university men and idealists. They hope to be the saviors of the country. This is G.A.
Who is
Maxwell
this?
writing.
Who is this journalist lusting over these people, dude? Like,
Exactly. This is, I would say this is either, closeted homosexuality, closeted homosexuality, because
you invented a new term altogether.
because I mean, because at this point of time, if you came out as gay, I would assume they would kill you or something like that. As is the case with
Yeah.
some parts of the world even today. But 1922, right? It's bad. Or this can also go really, really terrible. He might also be some sort of a pedophile. I don't know, like he's talking about 18-year-old boys. It's a disgusting way to talk about 18-year-old boys.
Whoever
They're
it was,
barely legal.
they clearly came in their pants. Like, there's no doubt about it. Whoever it was. Talking about their
So
lithe, agile
fucking
frames. What the fuck, bro? Huh? Also,
tall.
have you seen kids jumping onto the Mumbai local and doing all kinds of nonsense shit on top of the train,
Oh,
on side of the
Sandy,
train?
come on.
Right?
Yeah, but they are
So
not cultured classes. No, come on. We are not part of the cultured classes. This
I
is
don't know.
British
Like,
talking.